I'd like to call to order the April 27th, 2017 meeting of the Board of Zoning Appeals. We'll start with the roll call.
Hoffman.
Here.
Nair.
Here.
Southern. Here. Throckmorton.
Here.
Quilla.
All right, thank you. We do have a quorum tonight. We, however, do not have a president or vice president. As our rule state, in those cases, the staff will open the meeting and then immediately request a nomination for temporary presidents. Do we have?
Daryl Lear as the acting president for tonight's meeting.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Voice vote is fine. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you. Daryl Neer will be our acting president tonight, and I will turn the meeting over to him.
Thank you, Ms. Roach. This evening on our agenda for the City of Bloomington Board of Zoning Appeals for April 27th, 2017, we have minutes to be approved for 3/23/17. No reports, resolutions, or communications this evening. We do have petition continued to May 18th, 2017. That's UV-04-17 Lewis Development Company, 2000 South Washington Street, 114 East 4th Street, 121 East 3rd Street. We do have a petition withdrawn, and that's V-08-17 Lewis Development Company at the same address. However, we do have one item on our agenda for consideration, and that is petition UV-40-16, Naples LLC, Doug Duncan at 1610 North Kinzer Pike. And I'll turn it over now to our case manager, Amelia Lewis.
Can we do a vote?
Oh, I'm sorry, the minutes, please. Yeah, at this point, we will do the minutes to be approved. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes for 3/23/17?
So moved.
Second?
You may have to second. I wasn't there, so you may have to second.
And I don't believe I was there either.
You were there.
Was I there the 23rd? That's the 23rd? That was it? Okay, yeah, second. Sorry, Joe. I was like, wait a minute. That was my first meeting of the process. So we do have a motion, a second. Any amendments to the minutes? Seeing none, we will go to a vote. Roll call.
A voice vote.
Voice vote's fine. Voice vote, all in favor of the minutes to be approved, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The minutes are carried. Now to petition UV-40-16, and Amelia?
Thank you. Amelia Lewis presenting the staff report. The site is located at the southeast corner of North Kinzer Pike and North Gorley Pike. It is zoned commercial residential. It's approximately 1.2 acres, designated as a community activity center by the GPP. The site is currently vacant. To the west is existing multifamily. There is an office building to the east, single family to the south, and additional commercial to the north. Here is a site photo looking down Kinzer Pike, looking south down Kinzer, and looking at the north edge of the property along Gorley. The petitioner is requesting a use variance for first floor residential in the commercial general district. This was forwarded to you with a favorable recommendation by Plan Commission. At the same meeting, the site plan was approved. The site plan is a 3-story, 39-unit multifamily building. Here's the site plan. Mouse.
Gotta turn on the pointer. Laser pointer.
Sorry. This is Kinzer Pike along here. The apartments face Kinzer, and this is a sidewalk connection, and first floor units have ground level access. The parking is located behind the rear.
We've had complete technical shutdown. It's rebooting on us, so if you can give us just a minute, we apologize. That's frustrating. Sweet sound of restart.
We need one of those TV circles from the...
Okay, and we are back. Thank you. I believe I was describing the site plan, so let's give it another go. This is Kinzer Pike. We have a sidewalk along here which connects to the residential units. The parking is tucked behind the building, and this area of the lot remains undeveloped due to environmental constraints. There's sidewalk proposed along both street frontages. And this is the west elevation along Kinzer Pike. So you can see these front door steps that residents would be able to access. In addition, on the other side of the building, which is the side that faces the parking lot, there are external balconies and external stairways, which are half covered. So on the front side, they are not visible, but this is how you gain access to the second and third floors. Here are the north and south elevations. As I mentioned previously, the southern portion of the site will remain undeveloped due to tree preservation standards, steep slopes, and there is a creek which requires a 75-foot riparian buffer, which I believe extends all the way up to here, fairly, and just goes right next to the proposed parking. The commercial general zoning district prohibits ground floor residential units, and the petitioner proposes all residential and no commercial. So the BZA must determine if this petition meets the criteria and findings for a use variance. There are 5 findings for a use variance, and we will walk through each of these. The first one is that it is not injurious to the public health or safety of the community. The site plan was approved by the Plan Commission, which allows for sidewalks that fill in existing gaps in the network, street trees, and landscaping. There's an affordable housing component with this project, and there's only one curb cut off of Gorley Pike, which limits access along Kinzer, which is a very busy street. Secondly, the use and the value of the adjacent area will not be substantially affected in an adverse manner. The department believes that this serves as a buffer between adjacent properties that have already been developed, with the commercial to the north and the single family to the south. It also, as I previously mentioned, creates pedestrian connections, and it is located along a bus route. The need for the variance arises from some condition peculiar to the property involved. The department finds that the southern portion of the lot is undevelopable due to environmental constraints, which is a condition unique and particular to the lot itself. This results in a smaller developable area, and it prevents a large mixed-use development that would likely be able to support commercial in a more effective way. The strict application of the UDO would constitute an unnecessary hardship. The department finds that this is true as it would require approximately 23,000 square feet of ground floor commercial, and entirely precludes the option for ground floor residential units. And the last finding is that the approval does not interfere substantially with the growth policies plan. As I previously mentioned, this is designated as a Community Activity Center, CAC. The plan outlines that the Commercial Activity Center will be primarily commercial, however, residential units may be developed. We believe that this incorporates a balance of land uses in the area and allows residents to take advantage of the commercial services to the north. This area is already fairly built out and is the last vacant parcel. And so this would just be fitting into the existing neighborhood with a use and design that is consistent with the Community Activity Center. The department recommends the approval of the use variance with the following condition, that it meets all of the terms and conditions outlined by the Plan Commission. And that's all.
Thank you very much. At this point, we will turn to the petitioner.
Is that okay?
Okay, my name's Jeff Faneuil of Bynum Faneuil Associates. With me tonight is Doug Duncan of Naples LLC, representing the owner of the property. We've spent several months working with the staff on coming to this development. As stated, we've met all the UDO requirements. We've stayed away from all the environmentally sensitive areas. But in order to develop the property, we do require this variance to make the project viable. The staff has covered the findings of facts. I really have nothing to add, but I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you very much. We'll come back now to the board for any questions.
I have a few,
Ms. Sutherland.
yes, and it was for you. So it didn't show when we were doing the presentation, but I actually went out there and looked at the lay of the land. That's a very difficult piece of land. It seems like the limestone breaks through all along it, so you're going to be building right on top of bedrock there? Doesn't seem to be dirt.
Right about it being a very difficult piece of land to develop on. My client bought this property in 1995, and I have worked on several different iterations of trying to come up with something that physically works on the property. Since that time, additional requirements have come in with the zoning ordinances, such as tree preservation, steep slopes, and riparian buffers, making the site even more difficult to work with. But I believe a lot of that land, the limestone you saw, might be fill material. They filled a portion of this property in '96 or '7 when they built where the law offices used to be up there on the bypass at Kinzer, just north of this site. So there was some fill place back in the '90s, and that might be what you saw. The office building next to this has like a walkout lower level, and I don't believe they hit any rock. So what you saw might be just rubble fill, hopefully.
So the question is, you go out that office, and then there's like a cliff that goes up there. You're saying that's probably fill?
Some of that, yes, that's fill.
And then you're going to have to build that more out to put your parking on top of it?
Yeah,
Is
we'll
that going
have
to be a wall, or?
Yeah, we'll have a retaining wall along our east property line. It was something that was worked out between the owner to the east of us and the developer. And we have a satisfactory agreement with him on that.
Okay, so since it's fill, you'll probably be able to do your retention pond that you have on the plan?
Yeah.
You're
yeah.
hoping? It's not? Yeah, oh, I was just wondering, because it's right by Cascades Park, if people don't know, you know, it's right above it. So it's actually would be a lovely place to live, because you could just drop right down to it.
Yeah. And now we have a sidewalk that goes all the way.
And they'll have a sidewalk, yeah. So it's, I don't have any objection to the residential or anything. It just, I wasn't sure how you were physically going to be able to work with it. It seems very hard. Oh, and I was also wondering what the oval was on Kinzer Pike that's in front of the buildings that I have on page, my packet 14. I don't know if they have that. It seemed to be.
Is that right where she's showing the cursor?
No, that's a retention pond.
Temporary topsoil stockpile.
Oh,
Ah, is that what that is? You can see
yeah.
it.
In order to
Okay.
get our Rule 5 permit, we have to show where we're stockpiling topsoil, where we have concrete washouts, things like that.
All right. All right, well, okay, well, good luck building there. You might need to do some blasting or something, I don't know.
Thank you.
Any further questions from board members? Seeing none, we will go to the public for comment. Seeing no comment, we will come back to the board for final comment. To my left.
Yep. You want a motion
A
first?
motion first, please.
Right. I will move approval of the requested use variance on the findings and conditions set forth in the staff report, including the single condition of approval set forth in the staff report.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Now we will move to comments from the board. To my left, any
I
comments?
don't have much to say. We saw this at Plan
And
Commission.
we did.
so.
Seeing no comment, we will ask for a roll call vote, please.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. Staff, this appears to be the final item on our agenda this evening, and we are adjourned for this evening. Thank you so much.